The power of the families of the hostages taken by Hamas is growing in Israel. And, for example, pressure has been put upon Itamar Ben-Gvir, this really quite difficult far-right activist who last week called for the reintroduction of the death penalty. In fact, the death penalty has never been abolished in Israel. It still exists. It was only carried out once after the conviction of the Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann in 1962, and Israeli military courts, which often handle cases involving Palestinians, actually have the power to hand down the death penalty by a unanimous decision of the three judges, although this has never, ever been implemented. And various politicians have urged Israel to reintroduce the death penalty or to impose the death penalty into on a routine basis. There was a bill recently which was introduced by Hamelech, the Otzma Yehudit, the Jewish Power Party, and it actually went through the Knesset in March. But although there is a principle and an option for the death sentence, as I say, it's never been removed from the Israeli system, and it's also only ever once been implemented. I think it's important that Israel doesn't go down that route. The bill introduces sweeping compulsory punishment, and it limits the amount of discretion available to judges when sentencing a defendant convicted of terrorist offences. But it sticks it sticks rigidly to the basic principles of law, and it uses the language, and this is really where it needs to be carefully reined in, and where the Likud party needs to be pulled up by the international community. It uses language of suggesting that people who are, particularly Palestinians, who are convicted under these laws should be othered, should be dehumanized, should be treated as terrorists and an enemy of the state, of society. And I think, frankly, anyone who is in prison should be rehabilitated rather than othered. And it's an interesting movement in the process of law, and it's something that we also see elsewhere in the world, not least in the rhetoric of people like Suella Braverman. It's something that needs to be resisted at all costs.